Hey fam, what's good? And welcome to this episode. Today, I had the opportunity to speak with a really just great guy, Keith Davis, doing business out of Atlanta, and he comes on and he's just sharing all of his story. And we had some technical issues, so maybe some things that may not come out great. But what I really want you to do is catch the spirit of someone who has made a decision to do things and do them in the right way. And his transformation through business in the food service industry is really it's amazing and it's inspiring what he's done, how he's been able to pivot, how he's been able to shift, and how he now has landed himself in Atlanta in a pretzel business. It's really amazing. The later you go into the interview, so much transparency and so much that is shared, but it's all from the heart. And so, if you're stuck, you got some questions, some things you're not sure about, and you want to know that there are other people who are out here every single day grinding it out, reaching for their goals, driving their mission, driving their purpose. This is a wonderful episode. All right. So, here we go. Let's get it.
Okay.
Hey, folks, welcome to this episode of the Pivot Play Podcast. I'm here today with my man Keith Davis. I call him a serialpreneur. He's operated multiple businesses, but we met each other here in St. Louis. I was just describing this in a previous episode that sometimes you can just be in a room with somebody and you can look over and be like, "That's a good brother right there." And
Yeah, I appreciate that, brother, and likewise, and likewise. So I just had the same conversation with a good friend of mine that's not too far from us right now.
right.
And I think we met smoking cigars, didn't we?
We absolutely did. And it's funny when I was talking to Nick Taylor about
I
that. I
was just
said,
telling you that.
yeah. So I was telling Nick, I said the great thing about a cigar is that you don't smoke a cigar quickly. It gives you, it takes time. So that means you're going to have conversation. You're going to be able to interact with people. And at some point, it's not even about the cigar so much. It's the interaction with the people. It's the vibe. It's the feel. It's the way. And so you can sit there for an hour and then feel like, like you can be connected to somebody. And so I think that's kind of how I always felt about you sitting across a table or whatever. And so that's been a great interaction.
Absolutely.
And
Yep,
then
I
and
did
then
too.
you went to
And so
Atlanta.
it's just funny how we connect. And a lot of my friends got a good my friend here. We met over cigars. I mean, all my good connections down here uh be over these right here, my brother. All the connections that I make here in Atlanta, the culture, the cigar culture here, we've got about 12, 15 smoking sips. You
Oh
know what I'm
wow.
saying? And
Wow.
I mean, different cigar lounges.
Right.
And
Yeah, you
now
say
they
that
just
pretty yeah.
opened up the biggest humidor in the United States, about an hour from us, south of Atlanta, in one of the little suburbs. I haven't been yet,
Okay.
because the traffic here crazy, so I don't travel far.
Right. So
But
you
the
are
cigar
so
culture here is amazing. It
so let
really is.
me so let me describe a little bit that I can for the audience about here's what I know about. I just know that you are a businessman. You're in the food services arena. You've been there for a while. And I know that here's what I know, Keith, from just being around you. Not even we haven't had any of this conversation. Is that you have this determination and this drive and this stick to itiveness that for some of the stuff that you've been through, other people would have walked away already. But you stay in
Yeah.
there and you keep finding ways to win. And that's really what I want to talk about. So do me a favor and
Okay.
just start from the beginning and just help the audience understand who you are, what your background is in business, and how you got to where you are.
All right. Well, I worked for a company in St. Louis for about 20 years. Metro by State Development Agency. And I always knew that, boy, that time clock it never felt right for me. You know, it took me about 20 years, but I used that money in my 401k to start my business off
Oh wow.
in 2008. And my first restaurant was a barbecue restaurant, Southern Girls BBQ, Alton, Illinois. And from there, I was hosting barbecue competitions. I was busy, traveling all over the United States, you know, and our barbecue, you know, we had a good brand.
Okay.
I got burnt out in about 2012 because I missed my kids all in high school because I was working all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I regret that, but that's the life I chose, and it comes with some sacrifices. And I took a couple of years off, 2012. I wanted to think about, man, I'm terrible at marketing. We putting these, you know, flyers on cars, and you got to wait for somebody to come in. It's got to be another way. And then one day I was downtown in Metro's building,
Mm-hmm.
and I seen them stores at the bottom.
Right.
Okay, so that gave me an idea to start going after contracts. So my
Okay.
first contract, probably in 2015, I took over St. Louis County Water Parks,
Okay.
and only for 90 days though, I had two water parks, um, the Lee May Pavilion and St. Vincent's Park,
Okay.
and that was a great ride. I had customers 7 days a week as long as it didn't rain.
Right.
And one summer, we had like a drought season or something in St. Louis. It probably summer 2016, I believe. We didn't get a lot of rain. And man, I tell you, that's when I found out how much people love pretzels.
Oh wow.
We couldn't
Okay.
keep them. We couldn't, the pretzels that I sell now, we couldn't keep them. We
Wow.
couldn't keep them. It was our number one seller. Good thing about connections, I always left a good impression on Metro. So here I am 3, 4, 5 years later, bidding on contracts. One of the people remembered me, remember my work ethic. They vetted me. Metro gave us a chance.
Okay.
So we started contracts with Metro with coffee shops. I opened up two coffee shops, one in Ferguson at the Metro station,
Mm-hmm.
and then downtown on the Civic Center.
Wow. Okay.
The Civic Center is high volume, um, very, you know, it's a lot of foot traffic.
Okay.
So we did well down there.
Okay.
So that was my breakout, coming up with a system of how I can make the food business work for me.
Okay. So why pretzels?
And, huh?
Why pretzels? And before you answer it,
2006,
hey Keith,
2016,
so
2017.
hey Keith, before you go into that though, and I ask you about pretzels because I'm from Philly, so I know the Philly pretzel. You know what I'm saying?
That's where these pretzels originated
Okay,
from.
talk to me about pretzels.
I,
Then talk to me.
I bought a recipe from an old Italian brother that I love to death that saw him himself in me at my age when I met him. And you know me, I don't quit.
Right.
So real quick with the pretzels, a lady in St. Louis got the franchise in St. Louis, the pretzel franchise, right? The
Mm-hmm.
same one I bought into.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was hurt. Our business was only open 90 days. We bought more pretzel bites than, like, she sell wholesale. That's all she did is wholesale.
Right.
So We bought more pretzel bites than Ballpark Village, all the restaurants in there put together. That's how many pretzel bites we sold at our water park.
Wow.
They didn't want no hot dogs. They didn't want no nachos. Everybody was ordering these pretzels. So one day I decided to put one in my mouth. I was like, damn, no wonder. No wonder, I'm looking at the numbers, man. I'm like, these pretzels number one. So the lady in St. Louis, I'm like, hey, you see what I'm doing? She like, I'm like, no, I want to get in.
Right.
And she resisted me. I'm just gonna be, I know we on the internet, but I just end up, me, I end up hopping on a plane going to Philly
Right.
and getting this recipe. And it was only one major thing. It was only one, it was under one commitment that he made me make. And we had to sign a contract, but I'm a businessman. I wouldn't do it anyway. I can't sell a pretzel in St. Louis. So that's my journey to Atlanta.
That's why you left us.
Not on the scale that I'm selling now. Yeah,
Right.
I can go there and sell some pretzels as long as I'm getting it from that St. Louis source.
Right.
Now I'm making from scratch. So I said, cool, and they didn't think I was gonna do it. So it took me a few years to get here, but I've been here about going on
Almost 3 years, right? Is it
three years.
Yeah. Okay.
Getting ready turning to 4.
Okay.
And took us a minute to get up and running. But man, and what made me thought about them pretzels, I had the barbecue restaurant, I got the coffee shop, right? The coffee shop, we gotta buy 80 different menu items.
Right.
We buying cheese, meats, coffee, everything. I mean, I got grills. You gotta have the grills, the hoods, and all this other stuff with the restaurant.
Right.
Man, when I went to Philly and walked in that guy's kitchen, I seen an oven and a mixing bowl and a safe full of money. An oven and a mixing bowl. That's all you need, baby.
Right. So what you got to go back, though, because and I understand the simplicity of it, right? But so you mentioned the other things that you've done in food service, and you kind of touched on it, but you open restaurants, like I said, there's infrastructure, right? You need
Yeah.
ovens, you need staff, but
I got a certain skill set, and I just really did it with barbecue spots, help people create their recipes.
Right.
I never sold them my recipe because a dear friend of mine gave me an opportunity to get into business with him. It wasn't my recipe, it was his.
Right.
But it's in Sam's right now, Walmart. I bought it to St. Louis.
Okay.
And it's called Strawberries Barbecue Seasoning. And I was trying to acquire a major distribution deal, and he died in 2014, right when we was doing the deal.
Oh wow.
And everything got caught up in probate. I left that alone. But I've got my own recipe, and it's not a rub. I got my own barbecue season. So, but I can help people create a barbecue because they Italians, the people that I help.
Okay.
The Giannano family, they own probably about 12 different restaurants. And they was like, you know what? This is gonna be an American family and Italian, and, we're gonna have Italian dishes. But the guy told me, a big fat cigar in his mouth. Mr. G is what they call him. And he said, I want the best pork steaks in the world. He bought a smoker, bought some, asked me what did I need him to buy. I told him to go, what's the name of that meat market? I can't think of it now, 55 and Bates. It's a major meat market that everybody go to. Kendrick.
Okay.
I think it's Kendrick's.
I was
And
thinking about the Italian market. I'm trying to think where you're talking about in Philly, near the South Philly area. But go ahead, keep going. I thought you were talking about South Philly. Keep going.
no, no, I'll get into that. No, but I created an inch, and they still sell it now. If you go there now, they got an inch and a half pork steak that they didn't probably got famous for now. And they sell a lot of them. I just gave them the recipe of how to create and how to do it. But it's an inch and a half pork steak.
Okay.
And St. Louis is a pork town.
Right. Definitely.
So I have got people create. Right now, I got some people asking me now here that they got a good catering skill set, but they don't have a good startup idea for as opening up a restaurant, what it's going to take, what kind of equipment we're going to need, all that. Because the thing is, in the food business, a lot of people, have done it. It's hard to start the food business without never being in it.
Right.
And a lot of people do it. And you can go to the restaurants and I can kind of tell the people that come in knowing what they're doing and don't, because I made all those mistakes. So I know.
Right.
But I think I'll be able to start a consulting business in the food industry. And now it's forever changed. And now that it's changing, we all probably, if you know what you're doing, we all probably gonna make more money. And another thing with my pretzels, I got 3 income streams right off the bat. I'm doing wholesale.
Okay.
Getting ready to do curbside and to-go orders only. You can't come in my bakery. You can come there and pick your food up or send Uber there to pick your food up, but there's nowhere to sit in a bakery right now.
Right.
And then I have the food truck. And the food truck saved the Atlanta business.
So this is the thing, listening to you, one is this whole idea of starting restaurants. You make it sound super simple. I know it's not, but also you're making these changes, you're implementing these different strategies, so you're able to pivot between these different things. But to me, that's a skill set. But you make it seem like it's super simple, and I know that the average
No, it's
person
not.
doesn't do what you
It
do.
is not. And I'll give you the recipe though. I'll give people the first thing is it normally take a restaurant 2-3 years to pick up any traction.
Wow.
So I'm telling people right off the bat, go in with the money so you can be open 2 years, 2-3 years.
Have enough money for 2 years. Like if
Absolutely.
somebody showed up.
You gotta have. My rule would be have enough money to stay open for 36 months. And that's what I got a young man here now that I do eventually want to introduce you to. I got and that's the thing, man, about this cigar culture here. I've been met about 3 or 4 young men that have actually stepped in and just be with different tasks and skill sets. They help me with my and help me with my business. And he was talking to me about telling me how to form a private investors and this, and he talking. Say something, Noble. How you doing, brother?
How you doing?
And he talking to me. Now I'm supposed to be teaching him. Man, I say, what I do? I say, man, come smoke one of these good cigars, brother. Now put that down and get one of these cigars right here. So, man, me and him been connected ever since. So, he's actually teaching me how you form these private investor groups. They keep, man, we got to start using these other people money. So he wants to come out and check the bakery out, check the food truck out, see exactly and vet me. And one thing they do in business, boy, they vet you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm good with it because I got everything in line. My new website that's gonna come on, that's gonna probably go live. It should have been live, but I'm not no technical guy. I don't understand what they talking about. It's something about my pictures weren't good enough, Jerry. So, I gotta get some better pictures. I'm thinking my camera pictures, man. But that's the thing. You got to get people that know.
Right.
You got to get people, that knows. And he's working. And like I said, that's the best thing to do is have that capital and have that money. And
Right.
then after that, make sure you got the knowledge, you got some type of skill set. Just because you making all them good plates in a pandemic, it don't mean you're gonna get in that restaurant, make it function, and because you got all type of things to deal with. And the number one thing with me, it's a blessing that that my queen saved my life on taxes.
Oh wow.
Just turned my whole business professional. When got me a payroll service, and because and the first thing they tell you, people in the tax business, yeah, you can miss out on your personal taxes and that. Play with that employee tax and see how long your doors stay open. So that was a blessing, because when all this PPP stuff come up, man, my payroll company hit a button. Man, we got you. I ain't have to, you know what I'm saying? Come up with all this stuff. So do things the right way on your business.
Right. So talk.
But that payroll service with them taxes, man, man, that was a relief.
So when you talk about, so there's things that you do, you have a lot of experience, you do extremely well, and there's other things that are not your expertise. So that means you have to build a team, right? You mentioned having some trust issues. So
You're right.
talk to me about, and so people understand the necessity of, you can't do it all. You have to build a team.
Yeah, that was one of the things I did when I first got in this business. I had 12 hats. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's a path to disaster.
Right.
Spend some of the money you're making, investing in your people. And then I learned that, once I start bringing in other people, I paid them before I paid myself. I paid them before I paid myself.
Wow.
And so normally when somebody come to work for me, nine we probably got a good 70-80% where most of the people come work for us stay for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're every other Tuesday, that check hitting that direct deposit.
Right.
And you have to take care of your people. Like my social media, man, I'm terrible. I just hired somebody to do that, man. Yeah, don't go looking at, I know I'm getting better. I don't get better. Don't look at that social media though. My marketing,
Right.
my social media, and my marketing, my website, integrating all that stuff. So I had to hire somebody smarter than me. Now, when we go live with our curbside, and I thought it was going to be probably in the next 2 weeks, but it probably won't. But yeah, so everything is going to be integrated. They, click on my website, boom, it come to our kitchen. But all those type of technical skills. Now, if you got them and you want to use them in your company, but I'm busy. So it's a lot of things I don't have time for, and especially with my pretzel business. I left St. Louis to come here and do that. It was like starting over.
Right.
Don't nobody know me. Don't nobody know me here. And sometimes, Jerry, I take that kind of personal. I don't come from doo-doo.
Right.
So I get a lot of resistance here, but now not a lot, but you know how it is, because people don't know you. They're like, pretzel. Man,
Right.
we want crab legs and chicken wings. Nobody want no pretzels. Then they bite them.
Right.
Then they get a bite. Let me get another one of those.
Right.
Let me get another one.
Right.
Man, so I am, like I said, excited, but definitely the skill sets that you don't have, pass them on.
Right.
And I think I said something to Noble, my friend Noble, that I'm interested in when I move to the next level and I'm by my own bakery, I want the real estate though, Jerry.
Right.
I want to own the building.
Right.
I'm renting now, but 24 months, I'm probably gonna have my own building. And the thing is, the beauty about these pretzels and my business formula, remember, I got the wholesale, the retail, and the food truck.
Mm-hmm.
So when I open up my little storefront, the main thing that storefront doing is a production center in the back.
Right.
I don't care if you come in and buy 2 cups of coffee and 2 pretzels, because in the back we done just sold 500 pretzels to Kroger's.
Right.
We done sold another 500 to Publix.
Right.
I don't care if you don't buy no coffee. That's why it's the pretzels, Jerry. Pretzel business, baby. But one day I will integrate my barbecue because, Jerry, I'm going to be selling my bites, my buns, and my garlic sticks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to sell all 3 of those items to stores and restaurants.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And now that's something that we're going to have conversations with later about how I streamline this production.
Right.
Because that's not my skill set. And now I'm learning because, see, everybody else in this franchise, Jerry, across the different people, everybody do it different. They either doing the food truck, or they either in retail, or they in wholesale. They like, how the hell you think you're going to do all 3?
Right.
I'm KLD, baby. Google me. I'm KLD Enterprises. I'm doing all of them. I already got the food truck. I'm already doing retail.
Right.
Now we got to get this wholesale, Jerry.
Right.
The wholesale, baby.
So let me throw something out there to you because you brought up something interesting, which is kind of right in my bailiwick. We were talking earlier. I was telling you that a lot of my experience is doing things at scale, which is exactly what you're talking about. Is how do you grow it? Like I can do it here, but I want to do it 5 times. I want to do it 10 times. I want to do it 1,000 times. How do I do that? And like I said, my responsibilities have been both national, international, global, really. And so here's the secret. When I came here, knowing that I was going to take on a really big responsibility for this investment house, I was speaking to one of my mentors about it because I was nervous going in. I had never really done it at that scale, and he said one simple thing that changed my whole view. He says you manage scale through process. If you can create a process, because here's what process does. Process does 3 things, Keith. One is it reduces your risk. The second thing is it gives you a predictable outcome. You know what you're going to get every single time if people follow the process. The third is it is exactly the way that you scale. So if you have those processes down for how you prepare every step and they're in a way that you can put it in somebody else's hands, then if you can do it once, you can do it 10 times, you can do it 1,000 times. The secret is process.
And that's the point I'm getting at, Jerry, because nobody else is doing it like I'm doing. And the person that I know that does this in wholesale, they do everything by hand. And her pretzel bites look amazing. I don't want this product made by hand. So I'm already out here talking to people building to bakery equipment people. They tell me, oh, you need this. Yeah, that's what I want. Because, Jerry, what I don't want to happen is go to somebody, we out here banging stuff out, and they say, you know what? Hey, different twist ATL, we need 60,000 pretzel bites next week.
Right.
If they told me that now, I can't do it.
Right.
I don't want that problem. So while I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning, somebody might, what you doing on Facebook? Because my mind moving. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to streamline this and produce as many bites as I can. Right. So if somebody wants that order, we can do it.
Right. At the lowest
cost. So that's what I'm worried about, Jerry. I'm worried about down here, somebody coming at me and calling out, pulling my ticket, talking about, hey, we need 1,500. Because right now, we only had about 40, 50 bags a week, and that ain't enough. We're doing them by hand, though.
Right. Right. So you want
You
to be able to
know,
do it at the lowest cost with the highest quality and get that volume. That's really what you're
just a little bit. I just want to. I'd rather get the equipment. You know, everybody say grow into it, grow into it. That ain't my model.
no,
Give me that good equipment. I only got one customer on that wholesale. I don't care. Give me that equipment still, because I'm gonna have more than that one customer.
right,
You know,
right.
so that's how I look at it, Jerry. But yeah, I'm glad you touched on that. But I don't. I'm running into obstacles where I have to talk to other people.
Absolutely.
You know, but I
Absolutely.
am going to control who I talk to. So right now, I'm just talking to small restaurants, cigar shops. You know, I mean, cigar lounges. You know, put my price, because we can handle that 5, 10, 15 bag order. Yeah, we can do that.
Mhm.
You know, but I get it before this summer. Somebody gonna come to me. I need 100 bags today, and I want to be able to go get it. That's
Right.
all. I want to have it. That's all, because we got a great product. I sell them a 2-pound bag. Some of these bags got 80, 90 pretzel bites in them.
Mhm.
So at the water park, Jerry, I took 6 of those pretzel bites, sold them for $3.
Wow. Wow.
Okay,
Mhm.
I can get 30 orders.
Right. Right. I feel where you're going.
20 to 30 orders.
Right.
Do the math. That bag cost me $12 back in the day.
Right. I got it. I got it.
I'm making $60, $70 off a $12 bag. So that's why I'm in the pretzel business, baby. And then I ain't gotta have all them grills and all
Right.
that. My food truck got a lemonade machine, a oven, and a mixing bowl. And we got
Mhm.
all tables. We don't, you know, deep fries, ain't none of that. You know, but I created a breakfast sandwich. I ain't created. They just told me you should do this, and I did that. Took that sausage, that turkey sausage, that egg, and that cheese, and I took that pretzel dough and wrapped around it
Mhm.
and baked it. Put my vegetable butter on it. Jerry, we got a gold mine down here, so
I can feel that.
I need your help though.
Okay. So we're gonna get it. And actually my buddies, we've been talking about making a trip down there to play a little golf in Atlanta. So I may be down there within the next couple months, but you know I'm coming looking for you when I get there.
Man,
But
yeah, just
I love what you're doing. It's and I think what people who are watching this are getting is the drive, the drive, the drive, the drive. A lot of people think that just because they open the storefront, people are going to show up because they got a great recipe. People are going to come looking for them to buy it. You are driving it. You are pushing it. It's that, and that's what I'm saying. Keep even when you relax, your determination kind of comes out of you, and so you
no,
are
man. I get told that all the time to calm down. You know, you extra and all that. So I know I'm high strung.
and it's all
I'm
good.
high strung. I got a lot of energy. You know, it's just my makeup. It's my
Right,
DNA, and
right,
ain't it's no quit in me.
right. But
Even
that's a big deal, though.
even you know, when it don't work out, I learned a lesson. I ain't never took a loss.
Right.
You
So
know, we
talk
might not have made no money, but it was a lesson.
right. So talk about that piece though, because what you're saying is a lesson. That's what people call failure. So break that down for people. How you take the thing that doesn't work out and you learn from it, as opposed to letting it deflate you and making you want to quit.
Well, that was basically something that happened to me when I was in the barbecue business. It just didn't get fun anymore. I started running into a lot of problems with theft. You know, so I had to come up with different systems to keep people from stealing my money. You know, then one day I started waking up and I wasn't happy. So some people came in and bought the building. Just so happened to ask me that I want to renew the lease with them, and I just said no. And they was like, they took my rent down to some crazy to like $800 a month. What about that? And
Wow.
you know, I was like, I'm not I'm not happy. I'm just not happy. I'm working too hard, and I just need to decompress. So, I stopped doing that, took some time off, didn't have, I'm not, I'm really not used to hitting no time clock, so that really wasn't an option for me, So it was a time in there where I got discouraged, because I'm like, why come this ain't making me happy no more? Man, I asked for this.
Right.
So instead of just, quitting, I took about a year off, uh, went, helped my friend, worked at his restaurant, helped him keep his business,
Mm-hmm.
and came up with a game plan and was like, yeah, I got to get back out there in it. But when you have somebody in your ear with all that negativity, ain't no money coming in.
Right.
What you gonna do? So I didn't get discouraged. I just did what I had to do, and for me, it was doing some self care because being an entrepreneur is probably one of the hardest things in the world, especially if you don't come from no money.
Right.
Because I take honor in being self-made. But Jerry, I had plenty of people to help me on the way. That some days though they knew I paid my people and I ain't had no money to buy me no drink. So I
Wow.
had people in my corner,
Right.
and I got a good woman too that So all that stuff was a blessing to me. But I had people, friends in my corner to lift me up. And like I said, I took that year off and I was determined to find me a food service contract. That's what I wanted to do. I was trying to get Cardinal Ritter lunchroom, Jenny's, anything we could do. I was trying to get. And but I thought, you know what? No, I don't really want to do no cafeteria because that's just like that's a contract. I already know what I'm going to be getting. And we got that contract with St. Louis County with the water parks. And that really, and, people's like, y'all do never sell hot dogs. Nah, we sell more than hot dogs. But I had discovered them pretzels way before back in the day.
Right.
These pretzels been out for years. They just don't sell them in our neighborhood, but they all throughout South County. Now they in Ballpark Village now. But this pretzel recipe that we have, it's a little different than like what you used to. It's not that hard, dark brown pretzel, Jerry.
Right.
It's light and fluffy. It's kind of crisp on outside.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get somebody with some flavor like me that invent a chicken and waffle pretzel, that's just, I'm going to take it there.
Right.
I'm wrapping hamburgers, I'm going to take it there. But yeah, Jerry, there's no quitting me.
Right.
And this entrepreneurship, especially the food game, no, the food game hard.
Right.
Food game hard. But it looked like to me, here in Atlanta, they opened up 30 new restaurants this month. 30 in the midst of a pandemic.
Right.
So I think Atlanta just has so many people. If anybody at home and you make a leather wallet, leather keychain, bring it down here and stand on the corner. Stand on Boulevard and Ponce and see how many you're going to sell right there on the street. So if you can't make it here, and I ain't talking about just in business, because if this don't, I ain't no 9 to 5 guy, but I know I can probably go out tomorrow and land me 2, 3, 4 jobs. So,
Right.
The market here, it's a lot of people.
Right.
It's a lot of people, but man, as far as my personality, Jerry, it ain't no quitting me, man. So that even wasn't an option.
Right.
And yes, you get discouraged and all of that, but you have to keep on going because I take it personal because my coffee shops in St. Louis, they're in bi-state development buildings, which are not open to the public.
Right.
And my heart is breaking for my people there because they're not working. But anybody that could have got here, I would try to help them come on and start working with us. But
right.
yeah, all my stuff in St. Louis is closed down still due to the pandemic. But I believe in investing in people, Jared. So that's part of my business model is I take care of my people. They gonna get paid before I get paid. Ain't nobody in KLD Enterprises ain't never get their check on the Tuesday. We pay every 2 weeks on a Tuesday.
Right.
Hey, Jared, don't pay nobody in the food business on Friday night because Friday and Saturday ain't gonna come to work. You know, food business, you gotta pay them on Tuesday, man. That's a hint for anybody out there. Pay them on Tuesday. Don't pay them on Friday and Saturday night. That's our day to make everybody make their money then. So every other Tuesday, baby. I'm just gonna throw out them gems, man. Gonna throw out them gems. Every other Tuesday, though. But with that being said, if God put you in a position,
wow.
If God put you in a position to help somebody and your business is being successful, I'm not doing the right thing if I ain't making another boss.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I invest in my people. Call any one of them up, and they'll let you know that.
Right.
Because I care about you.
Right.
You ain't just nobody. You ain't gonna do me no good if you come in here feeling bad every day. I'm gonna try to figure out what's wrong with you.
Right.
And if you need some time out to get it together, we're gonna try to work it out.
Right.
Even if we gotta bring groceries over there to you.
Right.
So take them principles of being a good steward in life and put them into your business.
Right.
You know, because with people, I try to treat them right, Jared.
Right.
And I added and I'm just gonna close out with this, Jared. When I was worried about how much money I was making, I need $2, $3, $4 more $1,000. I need, give me that money. When I realized, when I stopped, let that go, and just like, hey, we're gonna make it. We're gonna, I ain't even worried about the money. Somebody drop a box of pretzels, you come back up to the window, we gonna give you another box of pretzels.
Right.
So when I took my focus of making that green, it started coming.
Nah, dude, you gotta say that again. And that has been a consistent theme, honestly, Keith, with the best people I have spoken to that are doing any number of different types of businesses. The people who are not focused on the money first, they're thinking about their customers, they're thinking about the people that work for them, they're thinking about the people they're going to reach, the people they're going to bless, the people they're going to help. Money no longer is their problem. You got to say that again. People don't understand that. They
People
always
don't
come out
understand it.
chasing the
And I'm
bag,
gonna
get the
tell
money.
you, when I was concentrating, and then because I had a lot of chatter in my ear too. Can't listen to the chatter. I had a lot of chatter, so yeah, I was worried about the money. Cause shit, he shouldn't even get paid for. You can get caught up like that.
Right.
But I learned, I let that go and just watch my business thrive. When I start
Wow.
taking care of the customers and the people.
Right.
You can learn a lot from Chick-fil-A.
Wow.
So
Right.
when I interview somebody, if you can't do what they do when you walk up in Chick-fil-A, you can't work for us. Had to get rid of, a couple of people, we put you on probation, but if your attitude, you popping that gum and you mad because they done walked in, no, you can't work for me.
Right.
No.
So what are the lessons you learned from Chick-fil-A? Because I'll tell you what I see when I go through Chick-fil-A, and even during this time of the pandemic, when they're, you can't go in to sit in a restaurant, their process in that parking lot is amazing. Those people, they are moving people through there, and they doing it with a smile.
They customer service, man. I believe if you drive off and jump on Lindbergh, Somebody might end up chasing you down. You might have somebody at the red light coming to get you. They process and how they evolve. So you see what they did. They didn't have any dine in. So they had all these lines. So they start putting people outside with the POS, handheld POS system. They start setting up drink stations. They, just adapted.
They adapted.
So Chick-fil-A and Panera Bread Company learn a strategy. Learn Panera's food portion process.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in there gonna be the same.
Mm-hmm.
When they have that lobster roll, it's gonna have the same number of chunks on every sandwich. Every sandwich. Those are the people that help me turn my business into better. And I think somebody mentioned that earlier in the conversation I had earlier this morning about I do what the billionaires do. They wake up at 4:30 every morning. So I wake up at 4:30 every morning.
Right.
Somebody told me that this morning. I do everything that they do. I copy everything they do.
Right.
Everything. So all the great ones wake up at 4:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
The people that's strong and those 4 hours in a day, those extra 4 hours. And if somebody listening to this podcast, they done heard this 100 times. One of my closest people in my life, I do more before 9 o'clock than people do all day, Jerry.
Right. Right.
About 9 o'clock. So, and my friends will tell you, 12, 1 o'clock, they probably thought, he probably taking this nap. 3, 4 o'clock, because that hour power nap, because my engine, hey, I gotta get it, baby. I gotta get it. So that's it, Jerry. I mean,
let's wrap on this one thing though, because we talked about this a little bit earlier, but I think it's important. People like you, people like me, the ones that are driven, we run hard, so we don't rest like we should. What are you learning about rest, relaxation, recharging? How are you handling that?
I had to use some techniques, Jerry. And I really had to use some techniques after the death of my mom. I went into a slight depression. And it was rough. So somebody pulled me to the side and started giving me different tools. I went to therapy. I did everything, and then I started noticing because she'd been gone for a minute. I thought maybe it was something else, but come to find out everything was tied in each other. And a therapist helped me see that. So when you in this business, you have to do self-care. And I I do self-care. When
Right.
I need to talk to my therapist, it's online now. It's easy.
Right.
It's easy to get an appointment now because everything is virtual,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll open this laptop up in a minute, and so mine is I started doing different things. I got into martial arts a few years ago. That helped me. My good friend Ali Jenkins in St. Louis,
Mm-hmm.
my sensei, my brother, my partner, then picked me up many days. Say, no, we're gonna work out. No, we're gonna work out. Then start teach me about listening to different frequencies, bringing just meditating.
Mm-hmm.
And now, you know, I got a lot of good young brothers that I hang with here. They young guys. So now they talking to me about yoga and, so I'm going to start like stretching.
Mm-hmm.
But Jerry, I have to every morning, I have to meditate and try to get my mindset right. Because, like I said, when I went through, you know, went through about a depression that it was hard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a new city, ain't got no friends. You know, all my loved ones. You know, I'm missing my woman and shit. Man, it was the hard, and I did it in a haste. Buried my mama, loaded that truck up. Everybody telling me, "What? Don't do that." I was already gonna come, and my mama knew that. I was only in St. Louis because of her, because she was sick, she was dying,
Right.
and load that truck up, came here. That was the hardest thing I ever did in my life. You know, the loneliness, because when you get lonely, sometimes you can make mistakes, brother.
Sure.
You get caught up in that, you know. And so I really had to focus and self-care. When I start talking to that therapist, they give you certain techniques to use, and mine was writing everything in here, writing everything in this journal, because it's different. It hit different when 2-3 days later. See, he got his journal. It hit different 2-3 days later when you didn't calm down off of making your emotional. You come back and you look in here. Kate, you ain't handle that shit. You ain't handle that right, bro.
Right.
You ain't do that right. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that journal didn't change, helping me change my life.
Right.
But with me being an entrepreneur, and that's something that somebody got to think about. Having some type of package of therapy or workout for CEOs or something, because we are so stressed out. Not all of us, the one I ain't got no $1 million.
They stress, but they stress too. Don't kid yourself. That money doesn't eliminate the stress. Actually, for some people, it increases the stress because they're trying to not lose what they have. The money does not eliminate. Now, it can buy you some options about how to deal with your stress. It never relieves the stress. You'd be surprised what some of these people are doing. And see, you're talking about self-care. What some of these people are doing is they self-medicating, is self-mutilating, they're self-destructive because they're trying to stay in the game. They're as miserable as they could be. The money does not eliminate that. The self-care is what you have to be focused on. But here's the other thing that I hear in what you're saying, Keith, is you also have the self-accountability. You know how to look at in the mirror and say, where is the problem? It's not out there.
Sometimes we the problem, Jerry.
Sometimes the problem is right. I always tell people that one of the best tools that you can have on your tool belt is a mirror. You got to be able to see yourself.
But you do know, Jerry, that's one of the hardest jobs in the world, is policing our own self and our activities and being accountable for our actions. That's hard.
But that's where. But here's the thing, though.
And let me show you something else that made me look at myself, man. And right now, I'm trying to work on being more positive too, because sometimes I can't talk with some negativity, and it'll take somebody close to me that I love to tell me that you're being negative. Sometimes I like being humble, but they say, show your shit off. I just want to be humble though. In the midst of a pandemic, I didn't want to be bling bling and all this shit on here when people ain't got pot to piss in. They ain't buy their kids shit from Christmas. I ain't showing no all this. You know what I'm saying? Right. I can't help but think about somebody. My empathy level probably like too high. I need to bring it down because it probably can hinder me though. But I just believe in just trying to do stuff the right way, Jerry. But let me show you something to help me, man, because this gonna help somebody right here.
All right.
Because this shit made me accountable. This shit right here. Let me show you something. Let me show you this. This book right here. Let me get this right.
Male versus man.
Read this, Jerry. Can you see it?
I see it.
You got to look. You see it?
Yep. Male versus
man, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Male versus man. This right here made me look at myself totally different. And when I go through certain things, I open a couple of chapters back up here. This brother Dondre Whitfield right here, man, wrote some. He hitting stuff right on the head on here, and it kind of make you take accountability.
Right.
Because sometimes we the problem. And then Jerry, my matriculation into manhood, and that's why I'm fascinated by this young man here, because I wish I could have been where you was at 26 years old, brother. You did. So that's why I keep you close. But my matriculation, Jerry, came late in life, bro.
Right.
A lot of damage was done. I made a lot of mistakes, hurt people. I wasn't a service. So any true man, we have to be a service to others.
Right.
Our significant other, our children, our family. We have to be men of service and provide something. And I'm not talking about monetary or nothing like that. We have to be accountable. We have to be accountable. And I just wish I could have matriculated at a young age. And I think, and that's why my business growth was slow, because my matriculation growth, growing into my manhood, was slow.
Wow.
Immature decisions
Right.
in life, immature decisions in business. So pick up some books, do some reading. We all got our flaws, acknowledge them, take care of your people, take care of your employees, pay them before you pay yourself. And you can miss paying that payroll, that personal W-2 tax. You can miss paying that. Whatever you do not mess up on them employee and that FICA taxes and all that stuff. You take these little tools that we sharing, it's gonna be some help to you.
Right.
And it's gonna be some help. And we have to talk some more, Jerry, because I got some people that I want to be on your podcast, because I got a group of brothers here that I'm proud of, man. And they say I'm mentoring them, but I'm like, I learned so much from y'all. I'm mentoring you. I learned so much from you.
Yo.
But I'm mentoring you. So I take that, I carry that right here.
So
And we getting ready to.
So let me say this first before we wrap this up. One is, it took us a while to get
Yes,
this
sir.
together, but I'm super appreciative that you were willing to do this. I really appreciate the fact that you are so transparent, because I always want people to come on to leave some breadcrumbs, leave something that somebody can really use, something that people can truly follow. They're looking at all these images on Instagram and Facebook, and they think they're trying to emulate somebody's life, but they're not really giving them the breadcrumbs. They're not telling them what they go through. They're not telling them about the struggles. They're not telling them how to partner up with people. They're not telling them how to be mentored. They're not talking about accountability. They're not talking about self-care. So, dude, you have laid it out. You have shared your story. You have opened up your life. And I pray that people who are listening, people who are watching this, are blessed by this, and that their journey is helped by what you shared. I mean, I can't even tell you how much I appreciate it.
I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. And this is not my format. I normally don't. I normally don't do this. Jerry. When I'm out, I talk loud and I have a lot of fun. But I am an introvert.
Right.
So when I'm a center of attention, I get anxieties and stuff. So all this is hard for me to do. So that's why I got to do stuff without no script. I don't really want to know what you're gonna be asking. Just let's do it raw and just
Right.
tell me. I don't have a fear anymore of talking about my flaws and my weaknesses.
Right.
And,
Right.
and if it can help somebody, I'll do it.
So do me a favor.
I don't have a problem doing it.
So do me a favor. So who's there with you?
Noble, I want you to meet this brother,
bring
man.
him
Pull
on.
that chair right here, man. I want you to meet this brother and just tell him some about your finance or what you're doing, Noble.
How you doing?
Hey, how are you, sir?
I'm great. I'm great. Great interview. By the way, that I've just been listening in, just taking in all the gems and all the knowledge that both you and Mr. Keith are sharing. And to your listeners, I mean, if you all are not having a notepad writing down some of these things, you guys were showing your journals. I keep this bad boy with me everywhere I go, man. And what they say is note takers are money makers. You know, if you're not writing down what you're hearing and taking this stuff in, it's tough, man. So I'm just thankful that I was able to sit in and listen to you and Mr. Keith kind of just share some knowledge for people like myself who are younger in the game. You all are more experienced. You've been there. You've learned the ropes. You've made the mistakes. And for myself, you know, if I can pick up on that, so this way I don't have to do that, I don't have to make those mistakes, then it's such a blessing. You know, it's such a blessing to be able to take advantage of those
Yeah,
opportunities.
and so let me say this to you, Noble. So I think what you said is so important. You know, I've spent a lot of time in the corporate space, and we've had a few of our people that have really done extremely well. But the issue that I've had with them is they weren't willing to leave the door open for the next person. They weren't willing to spend their social and political capital to help the next person. They know how hard it is for some of us to get in. And it's not that we're
Yes, sir.
not as good as or that we can't do it, but we need the opportunity. That young white person that walks in the doors of corporate, they have a support system whether they want it or not.
Yes,
We
sir.
need a support system, right? We need a support system because we have a much smaller margin of error, and people are trying to process who we are through stereotypes that they see on TV, things that they hear in
Yes.
some of these other conversations. And so I've always, and one of my mentors said that to me, and he's been so impactful in my life. I said to him one day, I said, man, what you say to me is so important and has helped my career so much. I would pay you for your time. And what
Yes,
he
sir.
said to me, he said, the way that you pay me is to do it for somebody else.
Right.
Wow.
I'm so committed to that. That's if you go back and watch any of the other episodes from this part, it's all about how do people pivot? How do you go into a different direction? How do you get stable? How do you start something? And so all these conversations are there to help people improve. And this is you seeing it right here. Live free. This is who I am. This is
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
all about. I want to make sure that I'm living the best life that I can. But Keith, to your point, I've learned that the shortest path for me to get what I want is to help other people get what they want.
There you go.
Who else am I helping?
Who
So
else am I helping?
and
Who else am I helping?
right. So Noble, I don't know how
If
long you've known him, but the Keith is he's just a great guy, man. He's just a straight great dude. It's just all there is to it. So
Yeah.
I so appreciate this, man. And the fact that you're there, you guys are interacting, you know, clearly there's a difference in age, but love does not care about that. At the end of at the base of it, it's love. It's what it is, right? You can call it camaraderie, call it friendship, but when you're open and you're sharing, you're transparent, you want to build up another person, that's what love is.
For sure.
Man, I learned so much from this guy, man. Hey, we're gonna do some great things, man.